Hey you guys, so in today's video, I want to talk to you about something that I get all the time from so many people, and that is the fact that you might be a seasoned writer and you might be an incredible blogger, poster on social media, all of these things, right? High five to you. The thing is, when it comes to books, writing that type of content is actually a little bit different. And without overcomplicating things, because I'm all about simplicity, the biggest thing that I see authors missing in this process when going from blogging to book writing is the emotional component. The very thing that takes the reader from this point to this point to this point, that flow. Right? Because when you're creating like a blog post or a social media post, the thing is like you only have this many characters to use, and you also don't want it to drag on and on and on and on. So you know that there's a stopping point. You get your point across pretty quickly, right? Books are different because books are telling a story. Books are meant to take the reader down this journey, this roller coaster, if you will. And in terms of like transformational nonfiction, which is what I do, the personal development, spirituality, mindsets of the world, that emotional piece is so key to being able to capture an audience and get them excited about what it is that you're trying to teach. So I have my phone here because I have an example that I want to share. A real life example of one of my clients and part of their book. Can you hear that train? Sorry about that. Part of their book that is great. It tells you something, but it's missing that piece that really pulls you in. And before I read this to you, I want to just share with you the reason that this is so important. So if you think about the fact that you're reading a book and somebody, let's say somebody's just telling you like verbatim facts. Now, to some of you that are more on the analytical side of the spectrum and you're like, all I want is facts, that might be amazing. But when you're picking up a book that's like a personal development book, when you're picking up a book to be inspired, empowered, to learn something, to get you moving forward into that next level of your life, you want to feel a visceral surge of something in order for you to take action. So that emotion cannot be skipped. Got it? Okay, so here's an example. My author wrote, I was 26 and 1 year into a very unhappy marriage that was based more on geography than love. It was a warm summer day and my husband came home to pack his things while his girlfriend waited outside in her red SUV. We had spent years in disconnection and months fighting about her. I trailed him around the house yelling while he feverishly threw his belongings into bags and bolted out the front door. Now you can see what's happening, right? Like, you know that there's a disagreement. There's something that is pushing him out of the house. She's going this way. There's combative nature happening, right? You can see that, but can you feel it? So my suggestion to her was this. And keep in mind that this won't be the entire component, but this will show you that emotional piece that you really want to make sure that you're capturing in the content that you're creating when it comes to a book. You can also use this for blogging and social media posts and all of that, but really important when it comes to a book. I wrote, love as I knew it smelled like booze, tasted like blood, and looked like bruises. Entering into adulthood, I could feel the patterns deeply ingrained in my DNA, yet I was sick and tired of contorting my body and mind to fit into what others deemed acceptable. Maybe that's why I chose the love that I did. Maybe my rebellious heart wanted to stay with my pain to keep any semblance of my mother alive. Can you feel that? Can you picture what's happening? Right? Like, it's a completely different way of writing, but it can garner the same kind of outcome when it comes to the bigger picture of things. I always tell my authors, think about what it is that you want your reader to feel. Yes, it is about what do you want them to learn, of course, but what do you want them to feel? What is the emotion that when they read these words, they will be like, holy shit, I feel blah. Or they'll just embody it by reading those words, right? It's really important. I'm going to continue to talk about these things in corresponding videos, but for this video alone, intents and purposes is to remind you the importance of evoking emotion in your writing. Also, something I want to add to that is we don't typically write the way that we speak. We just don't. It is a skill set and something to be practiced, and something that is so important, again, with engaging your reader. So I would encourage you, if you are writing a book or a blog or a social media post, if you are not used to writing the way that you speak, start speaking your writing out loud and see how you feel. Because what you will likely learn is that as you read those things out loud, you'll notice that there's a little bit of a disconnection when it comes to the actual emotional component of your words. Not because you're a bad writer, but because you're used to writing to write, instead of writing from a place of speaking, which is where the connection piece comes in. Now, if you have any other questions, please let me know. And in the meantime, I'm going to get about my emotional teachings with my clients and focus so much on the communication aspect of writing. This is huge, you guys. I just actually spoke to a friend and we were talking all about communication and how it correlates across the board to all relationships. And really it translates into every relationship on the same level, but we tend to separate them from romantic to platonic to clients. Relationships are relationships. And at the end of the day, we all desire to feel something. Let that sink in. I will talk to you soon and hope that you have an amazing day.